to see you and have you back so I can see some of you here. And today we're going to do the same thing that we did last week. We're going to talk a little bit about gratitude, and then we're going to move into a mindful practice. And last week it was really fun, I think, because we were able to actually see how the mind dictates what goes on in the body. And we did that, if you remember, if you were here last week, by thinking about a pickle, biting into a lemon, a lime, and all of a sudden our mouths started to salivate. We started to get that overworking of saliva in the mouth, which is so great because where your mind goes is where you are. So if you're here, but you're really thinking about all the other things you have to do today, your body reacts to whatever you're thinking about. And the same is true of gratitude, which is why I love talking about gratitude so much. There isn't actually a lot that you need to do in order to live a life with gratitude or to get the benefits of gratitude. And the benefits of gratitude are so many. And we also went into last week just talking about some of the research that's been done around gratitude. And we're going to talk about that again, because I'm going to pull some of those stats up again, or just some of that research. So the bottom line is this. I'm not telling you this. Well, I guess I am. I'm saying that gratitude is good for the body. It's good for the mind. However, the truth of the matter is that statistics, research, medical research, as a matter of fact, has also dictated and said simply that there are so many benefits of gratitude to our mental wellness, which is one of the reasons why I hope you're here. I need it for my mental wellness. I like to practice a little bit of gratitude every day. And it actually changes what happens physically in the body. And so it's astounding that we can do a very small practice and get so many benefits. And I always say, wouldn't it be different if we were taught this while we were young, that we can actually change so much in our lives by what we think about, just by changing your perspective or what you're going to focus on, right? But it's never too late. That's also what the medical research says. It's never too late to start practicing gratitude and to receive the benefits. So whether you are 10 years old and you're just thankful for a birthday present, or you're 95, like some of my clients are, and some of my students, well, really, I'm their students, right? If you're 95 years old, I'm truly your student. But nevertheless, some of my students are as well. They practice. And the first thing they tell me when I say, how did you live such a long, healthy, wonderful, fulfilled life? And usually one of the top 5, so it's not always their first, right? But usually one of the top 5 things that they will say is they were grateful, thankful, they appreciated, or that they had a lot of self-acceptance, which are all things that are parts of being grateful. Let's start our mindfulness practice right away, right now for today. Take a seat if you're seated. I know a couple of you have turned off your screen, which is completely all right. You do know that. I'm totally fine with that. And as a student, I do that too. So get comfortable where you are, though. If you're sitting down, I encourage you to sit back. I've got a little pillow beside me. So what I'm going to do actually is stick that pillow right behind me as I get comfortable in my chair and plant your feet firmly on the ground. Now, again, I'm sitting in a chair, so I want my feet planted. However, it is not necessary. I just want to ground you down, really to settle the body by placing the soles of the feet on a surface, fully down. But if you feel like crossing your legs, so for many people, crossing their legs as if they were in a mindfulness practice, maybe because they practice yoga in a different way, they might want to cross their legs. If you've come to study mindfulness a lot, you know that you can lay down and practice mindfulness. So if you feel like laying down on a sofa or a bed, or even on your floor, you can do that, or carpet, or whatever it is. However, you can also be practicing mindfulness while you're washing the dishes, while you're driving, while you're walking. So whatever it is you're doing, it is really a state of being. So just get peacefully calm and relaxed wherever you are. I will say this today. I have had a lot of clients ask me, is it okay to fall asleep? And here's what I say about that, because it is possible that you fall asleep. And I have been known every once in a while to be so relaxed that I fall asleep. And I gotta admit, this cute face every once in a while has the cutest little snore, but it's not cute when other people are listening. So if you have to fall asleep, it just means your body is tired, and I want you to do whatever your body needs. Generally speaking, we stay awake in a mindfulness practice, but not glaringly awake. We're relaxed. Our eyes might even be glazed over a bit. We might look at one particular thing. We might even close our eyes, but we're still conscious, or at least we are aware of the things that are going on around us with a focus on one particular thing. So today, that thing is gratefulness, and it's gratitude all the time with me, right? As the first and foremost. So as you're getting comfortable and you're deciding what you need to do to get comfortable, is it possible that you can also start to think of a person, a place, maybe even a thing that you are grateful for? Because I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. And so, whereas I would like to sometimes say gratitude is about the things that are internal, the things that money cannot buy, that is very true as well. But we also need certain things in order to live a happy life, right? Not for everybody, it's different for everybody. But for me, I can be grateful to have a roof over my head. I can be grateful that I have food on the table. I can be grateful for my health, family, friends. I'm grateful for you. So many things. What would you like to focus on? Take a breath. I'll be silent for a moment. Settle into your breath. As you breathe, start to relax the shoulders. So as I start to talk, my shoulders lift, or if I get a little excited, sometimes even a little bit stressed, my shoulders go up. Relax your shoulders. Actively relax the back and the shoulders. I do that through the exhale breath. So take a nice breath in, everyone, whenever you're ready. And gently sigh it out, breathe it out, relax the body. You're still sitting in that beautiful position or laying down, whatever position you're in. Pay attention to the breath. Notice what's on your mind. And then when your mind possibly starts to wander, as it does, maybe thinking about the things you've got to pick up from the grocery store, I want you to, with kindness, bring your mind back to, and in your mind's eye, saying what you're grateful for to yourself. So I might say, I'm grateful for my family, and take a breath. I'm going to put my mute on now so that we stay here, and I am going to time us. We're going to stay here for 3 minutes in silence, focusing on the breath, allowing yourself to sit and breathe. When you're ready, take your palms and place them over your heart space. Both hands over the heart. Bow in a little bit. So curl yourself up a little bit. So you're really tapping into that place where your heart might be, right? Or your chest area. And take some breaths in. Sigh it out. Part your lips. Breath in. And sigh it out. Maybe one more time. Nice. Okay. So let's just move a little bit for a second. So everyone, maybe interlace your fingers, take your arms all the way up, take a beautiful stretch, bend a little bit to the right, maybe a little bit to the left. I hope that feels good. Oh, yes. And there we are. Okay, so here we are, and we are in a time, and I know that times are very challenging for many people, because there's that loss of connection, right? That loss of connection and the same freedoms that we were afforded to, because we're trying to keep the vulnerable parts of our community safe, which is very important, which has to do a lot with also our seniors, which is so near and dear. I teach my seniors. And by the way, as I've said before, because I turned 50 this year, I'm also considered a senior by the town of Oakville. So for their fitness and those kinds of recreation activities. So I join that group of people who want to be very safe and careful. So that's the reason why we are doing this as well, like this, right? Where we're not in front of each other. And during difficult times is the most important time. These are the most important times to really come to a place of gratitude. I find that it changes everything about my day, because it's very easy for me, and maybe for many of you, to turn on the radio, the television, depending on what you're listening to. And once the news comes on, then all of a sudden we can be bombarded. And it's very easy to be in that place. And it sticks because, as I said before, and based on the practice we did last week with tasting this, pretending we were biting into something sour or bitter, we know that wherever the mind goes is where we are. That's actually how our body reacts. What we think about is how our body responds. And so you can be walking down the street, for example, and hear someone say something really nice to someone, like, "Oh my goodness, excuse me, you dropped your wallet. I saw, I've been chasing you. Here's your wallet. Here's something you dropped." And you think to yourself, "Oh, that was so good." And you're just left with great feelings, right? On the other hand, we can listen to something like the news and we can be left feeling like, "Oh, what is this world coming to?" Well, you know what? We actually need to take a couple of moments to give the body what I call ease, as opposed to dis-ease, which is disease, right? We need to bring the body to a place of ease. So if you've ever felt guilty about being grateful about something, I have a lot of clients who are and students who are very specific about this question. Should I feel guilty about coming to a place of gratitude when things are tough? And the truth of the matter is that no, you should always find reason, if you can, to be grateful. There are so many reasons to be grateful. There are also so many reasons why we can actually be upset or mad at circumstances or the world or the way things are going. But in order to let the body respond in kind, we have to give the mind a break, so that the body is not always in a state of fight or flight. Meaning it's always fighting, it's always wanting to run, escape, it's always wants to protect you. And gratitude is a way that we can do that. I'm going to share a screen that I shared last week. We didn't complete some of the slides, and I'm going to go back to it. So I'm going to share the screen. Give me a second, and you will see my face get a little bit smaller. And you will see the screen with the words gratitude and the positive mind get a little bit bigger. So we're not talking about the same things that we talked about last week. We already saw these slides. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. And of course, I want you to feel good. And having a positive mindset can get us through anything. But this is really where I wanted us to focus today. We haven't gotten to this slide, and I've got lots and lots of slides and lots of things to share. I could do this for 5 hours a day for the next year and still not give you all the information that there is out there about gratitude. But let's take a look at what happens when we think of gratitude, which affects the mind positively. Basically, it, believe it or not, increased lifespan. The more grateful you are, believe it or not, the more positive stuff happens in your body. So when we talk about that fight or flight, or if we talk about the stress hormones and we talk about all of that, believe it or not, it gives you increased lifespan. So your life expectancy for everybody is a certain period of time, but you can actually do things that can increase it. Believe it or not, gratitude is one of them. Lower rates of depression, and these are not things that I'm saying, these are things that come backed up with research. Lower rates of distress, greater resistance to the common cold. I should have put a period there, I know. But it's true. Believe it or not, there are statistics that show that individuals who have a more positive mindset come to a place of gratitude and you are able to basically come to a place where you are accepting of what's happening and still able to be positive, actually able to fight the common cold. Better psychological and physical well-being. When you feel better, I want you to think about this one for a moment, because this one, we did a little test on our own last week, and this one, I'm not going to ask you to do anything specific, but think about it with me for a moment, because I'm going to think about it. I invite you to think about this. I want you to think about when you are feeling happy, but you've got a little pain in the body, because sometimes there's chronic pain, sometimes there's just temporary pain in different parts of the body. I want you to think of maybe right now somebody that is here joining us has some pain in the body. Now I want you to think of the funniest movie or person you have ever watched or met. And I want you to think of, if you were listening to that person right now and watching that movie, what happens to your body? And for me, what happens is, I won't specifically ask any questions at this moment for you to put your hand up or anything or answer, but what happens for me is I almost forget how I was feeling. All of a sudden, the pain kind of dissipates, or it doesn't go away, it's still there, but my focus has now changed on something completely different. My body reacts well to laughter and smiling and just things being funny in general, which is the reason why I will tell you on a personal level, I love holiday lights, Christmas lights. I know that there was just Diwali, so a lot of people had lights up for Diwali. I love twinkly lights. And when I go out and I see them, I'm like, oh, it fills me up with so much feel good, that feel good feeling. So think about it for a moment for yourself. Do things in your body feel better when you are laughing and smiling and with people who make you feel like you can laugh and smile? A big belly laugh is always good. Now, this is the part we talked about last week. Better cardiovascular health and reduced risk of death from cardiovascular disease. Now, I have the stats for this. I have the research from this, from the Harvard Medical Journal with doctors and research to back this up. This is not something I'm coming up with on my own. I can pull up the stats, but I think it's probably better if I just talk about it, but I'm always happy to send those off. Here's what the research found when they did the research on people with cardiovascular concerns. They did 2 test groups, which is really important. And one had to focus on gratitude every day. Now, how did they focus on gratitude, and how do I focus on gratitude? You have gratitude journals, you send thank you notes, you just talk to people who make you feel good. You just think about or imagine, even in your mind's eye, about being grateful and the things that make you happy. All of this is part and parcel of what they had to do in that one research group. And in the other research group, they weren't told to do anything. They had similar ages and similar health concerns in both groups. And what they found was drastically in the group that had to focus on everything to do with gratitude every single day, what they found was that there was absolutely better response to their tests at the end. Things looked better. And in the other group, some people got worse. Now, that could be also related to a whole bunch of other factors, and it goes into so much science. But what I will tell you is this: the research is huge. It is backed and it's verified research, so it's scholarly. And the bottom line is that coming to a place of gratitude, even for people who have cardiovascular health, they find that there is a benefit. Now, here's the even better news about this. Some people will think, oh, I should have started this a long time ago. Oh my goodness, if I thought about that. Nope, you don't have to worry. The truth of the matter is that the research also shows that even if you didn't think about gratitude every day for the last 50, 60, 70, whatever number of years of your life, it wouldn't matter, and you started today, the effects of coming to a place of gratitude every single day the benefits start immediately. I mean, that is the best news I've had in forever. I love when I find out that there are things that I can actively do every day just by having a little bit of discipline. So like, you get up. For those of you who make your bed every day, I like to make my bed every day. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like thinking about, should you be drinking this much water or taking this many steps? There's so many things we do every day that is part of our everyday living, right? That we may not necessarily want to do even. There are certain things we don't always want to do, but we do them because it's now become part of our life. And if we can make gratitude a part of our life, believe it or not, you are doing your body well. Now, this is I'm going to go back. So this was all from the Mayo Clinic, all of this, but I do have specific results from Harvard as well. But the best one as well is this: better coping skills during hardships and times of stress. And are we not in times for some people, I'm not going to talk about everybody, but for some people, this is a time of hardship and a time of stress. Being in the middle of a pandemic can specifically be this. This is why we're online. But coming to a place of gratitude often helps people become more resilient, if that makes sense. So you're going through a challenging time, you come to a place of gratitude, you are easing through some of the more difficult days a little bit easier as you start to bring in more gratitude and understanding into your life. These are all wonderful things, and I think they're fantastic, and all are very important for us to talk about. What does it mean to have a positive mind? So I talk about positive minds and gratitude almost as they go hand in hand, because what does being grateful do? It really changes and makes you have a more positive mindset. So I'm going to use myself as an example because I don't know anybody else specifically and about their life. But what I will say is that my mother used to say about me that no matter what happened, she knew that I could always handle whatever came my way because I could bounce back and find whatever was happy about the situation. And I've been told that. I think that I came to teach about gratitude more because of what all of my students had been saying to me over the years, as opposed to what I was choosing to do. So my life's purpose was how I was living my life. I was living my life and being positive and grateful, even through some of the most challenging times. And I just realized, oh, I didn't realize I was doing that. And then after so many times, I had to go to school about it, right? I'd go to school and figure this out. So practice gratitude, laugh, sing, positive self-talk. We're going to stop at that one today. Positive self-talk. So what is positive self-talk? It's what you say to yourself every day. This is too challenging. This is too difficult. I can't do this. Though that would be negative self-talk. I'm not good enough. Somebody else does it better. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it through that. Those are things that our mind will tell us. And the truth of the matter is, the only way that sometimes we can come to a place of a more positive mindset is where we then direct the mind. Of course, this takes us to the opposite thing, right? If we're moving into a place of sadness and sadness goes on for a longer period of time and into depression, we need to seek medical assistance, right? From our medical practitioners, doctors, to be able to help us. And there is no shame in me being able to say, I talk to people all the time. I talk to therapists. I talk to people who teach mindfulness. I have my own teachers. I make sure that my mental wellness is very important. And I make sure that if I'm moving from a place that I feel, oh, I've been sad about a specific thing for too long, and I cannot jump out of it myself, I seek help. That is very important for everyone to know. It's okay to be upset. If you can't come to a place of gratitude on your own, it is okay to seek medical assistance. And I can't say that enough. Okay. So let's go back though to the positive self-talk and negative self-talk. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I know it's going to be a challenging day, or that life just doesn't seem the way that I'd planned it out. I mean, has this year really been the way anyone has planned it? And coming to that place of gratitude has really helped me every single day. I take stock of where I am. I accept what's happening. And then I can still make positive changes in my life. I could still have choice. I still have choices to make. And happiness is one of those choices. There are no ands, ifs, or buts if you want unconditional happiness. And that's very important to remember, right? We have to choose. So I often will make the choice on a difficult day. I choose to make some choices, one choice at least, that is going to let me have a really great day. It doesn't mean that my life is completely changing. It doesn't mean a pandemic is going away. And when we think about it, on the opposite end of gratitude comes so many other things. Am I just trying to be so positive that I change the fact that there are so many people suffering? And the answer is no. I have even just today, the reason why I'm so dressed up today is because once I'm done, I have to go to a celebration of life of somebody who was very young. And so, but the way I look at it is, I am grateful to have met that person. This person has improved my life 100-fold. And so I go to celebrate this person's young life. So it doesn't change that things are challenging and difficult. It just allows me to be able to really pull out the things I'm grateful for so that I don't always go to a place where of sadness every day, because it's very easy to go there. I'm looking at the time and it's 9:33 and I've talked a lot. We've gone to a couple of new slides today. Let's find some gratitude. Why gratitude makes us happier. It increases self-esteem. We're not going into that topic today. It makes us more optimistic. Absolutely, it does. Grateful people are definitely more hopeful and healthier. And this is one I will talk about. Grateful people sleep better. And I am a testament to that. When I'm worried about things, I don't sleep. I toss and turn and wake up in the middle of the night. And I have to really sit up for a moment, grab my gratitude journal, write down what's bothering me, write down the lists that are going on in my head, and then come to a place of gratitude and then go back to sleep. Grateful people are more resilient to trauma. And that's one we might go into down the line as well. but not today. We're going to leave that today, and I'm going to stop the share. So I'm going to ask you, as I do every week before we go into our place of gratitude, I have a question for anybody who wants to. Between last week when we spoke and this week, can anybody tell me something they were grateful for that maybe they didn't talk about? Now, I told you that I went to school at Sick Kids Hospital for a year. I did a program, a mindfulness program for end of life at Sick Kids Hospital. It was an intense program. There were neuroscientists and doctors and nurses and people who are 1,000 times smarter than me. And I got a scholarship and I was allowed to go in because I'm a yoga teacher. I'm not a medical practitioner of any kind. However, I found that being there really changed my perspective on how I looked at gratitude. I'm just going to say that. It totally changed my perspective. As I said, I'm 50 years old and it's easy for me to complain about so many things. But when you're in a hospital where you know that there's 3 doctors beside me who just had to make the decision with some parents to say goodbye to a child, for example, who's only 5 years old or 3 months old, and helping, then you realize, oh, I can handle my aches and pains. Because those parents, my ancestors and your ancestors, what they wanted was for there to be a lineage, for there to be children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and go on and on and on. And those parents would have wanted for their children to make it to 50, even with aches and pains. I'm just going to say it. So boy, did I did I learn and have gratitude smacked in my face every single day. And the things that I thought were challenging were no longer challenging in a matter of an instant. So here we are. I know there's not a lot of us, but there is a lot of good intention. I can feel it, even though I can't see you. Who would like to say a couple of things they're grateful for? Take off your mute if you don't mind. And if you can, and then there you go. And what's your name? I know you're on Brian's computer, I believe.
Yes, I'm Patsy. He's my husband.
Patsy.
I'm
Well,
Patsy.
good morning, Patsy.
And I'm grateful that I found your program. I'm so happy that I joined in today.
Oh, well, thank you, Patsy. I'm welcome, and I'm happy you joined in as well. And thank you very much.
It was great.
Good. We're not done yet, but I like to know what people are grateful for. And again, there's nothing too small. There's nothing too big. There's nothing too small to be grateful for, right? It just has to be able to kind of reset us. It's a reset. And when you reset your mind, you reset your body. When you reset your body, it changes what's happening physically in the body. I mean, oh gosh, I got those shivers again just saying that, because to know that we have the power to change what's going on in our own body just by where we place our mind, how powerful is your mind, right?
I know for me, it's very easy to get caught up in your everyday routines, and we go to work and we have houses to worry about or whatever it is that we have going on in our life. And for me, what's really changed that is I have a new little son at home. He's only just 14 months old now. And especially coming back into the workforce after being off for a year, I am just noticing how much, when I find myself getting so stressed out about what's going on in my everyday life at work, having that, probably for the first time in my life, just that person, I can think about my son, and it does just ground me in how much gratitude I have for him and his little life that he's beginning. So.
Oh, you make me want to cry. Tears of good tears. That's just too much for me. I just want everybody to know, happy stuff makes me cry all the time. Do it all day long. My kids just roll their eyes at me and say, "What is it now, Mom?" And I'm like, "Can I tell you the story?" They're like, "No." Okay, Greg, did I see you have something to join in and you wanted to tell us something you're grateful for? Did you take your mute off? Did you want to tell us something you're grateful for?
Yes. Well, I'm grateful for these Zoom calls and the fact I get to sort of participate in the different Zoom sessions.
Well, I'm so happy to see you here today, and I agree with you. And I want you to know that even though I'm presenting, I'm always a student. I'm a student first, and I'm a teacher.
Right.
I love the fact that we can connect like this as well.
Right.
It has changed everything for me as well.
I know. Right?
It's so good. So welcome, and I hope to see you whenever you can. I don't want anyone to feel pressure. Whenever you can.
Okay.
Fantastic. And good morning to you. Is there anyone else who'd like to jump in, take off their mute, and tell me what they're grateful for? It doesn't have to be about this program. Remember last week, Trisha told us she had a new great grandbaby.
Yes, I'm very grateful for my family during these times and the support that they give, even though it's virtual. Like the young lady was saying, we have young grandchildren. In fact, we have one that is barely 2 months old. And the great part is that they're doing really, really well as a little family. The sad part is we don't get to hold them, but we focus on the fact that they're nice and safe, and they're doing very well all together. So I'm very grateful for having the family that I do.
Oh, see, again, that makes me feel so full for you. Like really, it's a blessing. It's so much to be grateful for. And you know what, Margaret, I will tell you, what I've realized as well is there's even so many people who, even through this pandemic, family ties have broken and relationships have broken. And to say that yours, like a new baby, family bonds, things are like so good. I like that. It's not that we don't have family strife ever, but I love to hear that through this, that families have really found a way for that connectedness to really mean something, even though it's on screen. We went from telling everybody, don't spend so much screen time, it's not good for you, to you better learn how to get on the screen and connect with other people because it's good for your mental wellness. It's good, and it is good. It's so good. It's good for me. You have no idea. I teach online a lot. So I have to be quite honest. It has saved me, even the connections that I've made online. And I have a great family, but the connections I've made online and seeing people and having people either come back or new people. Oh, it's the energy just, it travels with me. I'm full. I'm full every day. And I'm like, I have nothing to complain about. I actually am quite privileged, to be quite honest with you, living in Oakville, being a part of this community and working for the town. I'm a very privileged person. And I have a good family as well. But you know what? We were all community. So, here's now where that traditional, I'm Canadian, I was born in Canada, but I also have a background. And, they say it takes a village, it takes a community, right? And something to happen in a community, to see the bonds of community, family, friendship, so important. We may not have noticed it, and things are happening around the world where we're like, oh my gosh. But when we really take a look, there is always more goodness. Always. I understand. And you know what? You could talk to me about all kinds of things. I've lived in Canada. I've lived in West Africa. I've lost a husband. I've lost a mother. All of this stuff. I lost also my aunt this year. It's been a very traumatic year. I have so much to be grateful for. I have so much, and you are part of it. Let's stop the class today and sit for a minute, hands over heart. You have no idea. I've got all of those, like it's just a lot. It's just a lot of good energy. So hands over the heart, maybe closing your eyes or leaving them open. You don't have to close your eyes. And I want you to take a big breath because I said a lot. Let go of everything I said. Anything that doesn't resonate with you, let it go. Take a breath in. Part your lips. Let it out. Take a breath in, a nourishing breath wherever you are. I want you to think of all of the good happening in your life, the things you're grateful for, even if it's small, even just for waking up and seeing the sun. That's a lot. Sigh it out. When you're ready, turn the corners of your lips up if they're not already turned up, or think of someone who makes you smile. Just think of that person. Just think about them or think about something funny. Let that just seep into your skin, into the blood. Let it flow. So when you breathe all of that in, think of it in your body. And then, like fireworks, send that good energy to the rest of the body. And maybe even other people that you talk to today or you look at. You don't even have to talk to them. Just sending everybody around you with just good vibes and good energy. And I am grateful to have been here today.
Well, thank you so much, Kristeen. What a wonderful way to start my Friday. And I think I can speak for everyone else as well. Just what a fantastic session. And thank you very much for leading that for us today. So for everyone who's here, thank you again for joining us. If you do have any questions, I am just going to share the screen here. You are welcome to send or call your questions in. And again, Daniel and Nabil are our regular hosts. I'm just filling in for today. They're enjoying this beautiful Friday off themselves, but they're happy to talk to you about any of our questions for any of our virtual programming. So thank you all again, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope to see you again sometime. And if not, I'm always sending you great energy. Until we meet again, whenever that might be. Have a good one, everybody. Look up to the sun. Look up to the sun. Close your eyes. Breathe in the fresh air if you stick your face outside at all today. And if not, just look up anyways towards the sun. And gratitude for that, right? It's always, always a wonderful day to wake up to a bright, sunny day in Oakville. Rain's good too, but sunny is also good. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.